Right friends, welcome back to third capsule. This is with regard to the pros and cons, or you can say view and counter view of capital punishment. And yesterday view, counter view and third view appeared in the Hindu, and in this context I am presenting this capsule. And one important aspect, don't forget, what is the meaning of capital punishment? Because of some crime, if death penalty is given, that is capital punishment. The government, because of some crime, when it gives death penalty, that is capital punishment. And if you look at capital punishment, certain countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, left and right, they implement capital punishment. But if you look at some Western countries, this capital punishment is banned in several countries. So there are wide extremes. And under these circumstances, look at the Supreme Court's view on this present status in India on capital punishment. The Supreme Court has laid down the doctrine. The doctrine is this: death penalty is to be given in rarest of the rare cases only. Right? And in the landmark judgment of Bachchan Singh versus State of Punjab, the Supreme Court affirmed the principle of life imprisonment as a rule and death penalty as the exception. So, as the things stand today, life imprisonment is normally the rule and death penalty is in rarest of the rare cases only, or you can say as an exception. So, in view of the confirmation of death penalty for the persons who committed heinous crime in case of Nirbhaya, this discussion appeared in the Hindu, right, for capital punishment. There is a viewpoint of for capital punishment, that means the death penalty must be imposed as and when required. The second one is against the capital punishment. It says the society and government is partially responsible for the present state of affairs in several sections of society. So, that is to be viewed in that parlance. And the last one is middle path that supports the Supreme Court doctrine of rarest of the rare. Right, let us look at the first one. I listed out various points. You can go through them. The first one is the society became almost lawless. Crimes cannot be addressed by simple punishments, and weaker sections like women, young girls, there are several acid attacks taking place, and women as well as young girls, even 4 years, 5 years, young children are targeted, and minority communities are being lynched in a barbaric manner by the mobs. And attacks on Dalit communities continuing even 70 years after independence, and the attacks on the vulnerable sections are still continuing, and the punishment must act as deterrence for others. And if you look at further points, unless we impose a death penalty, we cannot find a solution. And one more point is, substantial part of our security is going for protecting VIPs, and our legal system has got multiple layers of appeal from trial court right up to apex court, and it is taking almost years together. If you take Nirbhaya case, it took almost 5 years for Supreme Court confirming the judgment, and hence under these circumstances, that means crimes are increasing and our security system substantially going for VIP security. Our legal system is not that perfect, or what I mean to convey is, our legal system require lot many improvements. There are several layers of legal system, and for any crime, the process in the courts is taking years together. So, under these circumstances, to act as a deterrence, capital punishment must be provided for serious crimes, including hate crimes. Otherwise, these crimes will increase and we cannot live in peace. So, this is the argument for capital punishment. Right. The second one is against the capital punishment. Here the fundamental point is, society is built by us. At the same time, governments are partially responsible for the state of affairs in certain sections of society. The government is responsible for the state of affairs in society. Another important aspect is there is a huge gap between the haves and have-nots, and rich and poor gap is increasing. In urban areas, some people are enjoying various luxuries, but some people are without basic amenities. And some places we see high-rise 20-story, 30-story apartments with luxurious facilities, and side by side we have slum areas where no basic amenities are available. So government cannot absolve its responsibility, and here there is a process of socialization that contributes to an individual's thinking. So crimes are as much about social failure as much as they are about individual responsibility. So social failure is one aspect which should be taken note of, and our criminal justice system is under severe crisis because when a poor person is under police custody, then investigations are taking place with tortures and a broken legal aid system and alienating trial processes. And at the same time, it is incapable of administering death penalty in a fair manner. There is a lot of prejudice between rich people and poor people. Here, our society is in a dichotomy. On one hand, seeking more violent and harsher punishments for certain crimes, and at the same time struggling with rampant impunity for other crimes. And some people, especially the richer sections of society, are escaping the law. We have seen a number of cases where richer people escaped the eye of the law very easily. So our judicial system and crime investigation, all these things needs a lot of improvement. Under these circumstances, if death penalty is there, that affects only weaker sections of society. The justice system is also favoring the richer sections of the society in one way or the other. Society cannot demand to take the life of an individual when it has contributed to that process. Why individual became to such a level and why individual day by day came to such a stage of committing atrocities, of committing crimes, that is the thing, that root cause is to be investigated. Society is responsible, government is responsible. So please look at the root cause, right? So several people live in slum areas without proper basic amenities, and that is the issue which may perpetrate the people towards the crime. So under these circumstances, crimes are as much about social failure as individual responsibility. So justice must be tempered by this reality. So under these circumstances, capital punishment should not be there. So this is the second view. The third view says, as felt by Supreme Court, it should be imposed only in rarest of the rare cases. So in view of the present day circumstances, this capital punishment must be imposed in rarest of the rare cases. State sanctioned death penalty, that means capital punishment, acts as a catalyst to promote the law, and because of that, fear of law, which acts as a deterrent to committing future crimes, will increase. So here it will have a long-term impact on containing the crime. So therefore, the Supreme Court also felt several times that the death penalty must be imposed in rarest of the rare cases. So the society is facing serious problems because of constant rise of crime. So the law enforcement structures are also struggling to meet the expectations of civil society. Under these circumstances, it is inevitable for rarest of the rare cases, capital punishment must be there. Right. So this is all about capital punishment and various views. Let us wind up this week capsules here. Have a nice day. Thank you.